India today.
Chaos, crisis and collapse. Payback time for Pakistan. Begging bowl as the terror blowback.
I feel very embarrassed कि मैं आपसे हर दफा आता हूँ, कोई और आता है तो आप कहते तो नहीं, लेकिन दिल के अंदर तो आप समझते होंगे ये पैसे मांगने आ गए हैं। तो मैंने कहा कि ये पाकिस्तान, एक मिसाल इसकी ये है कि एक हाथ में हमारे एक न्यूक्लियर ताकत है और दूसरे हाथ में कशकोल। ये आग और पानी का ये कब तक ये मिलाप हो नहीं सकता, कब तक चलेगा?
Boasted 1,000-year war with India.
Wars with India. 3.
Pakistan says it has learned its lessons finally.
Pakistan has learned its lesson. We had 3 wars with India. 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries.
Food riot, begging for aid, and now global shame. Price of peddling terror.
Hello and welcome to an India Today special broadcast. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Pakistan is in dire straits. Pakistan is in trouble. Its financial condition continues to deteriorate. So bad is the situation that Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif is now talking about talks with India. Shahbaz Sharif in an interview said that Pakistan's fought 3 wars with India and Pakistan has learnt its lessons. Are these indications that Pakistan's Prime Minister is trying to seek aid from India? But the sting is in the detail. The devil is in the detail and the sting is in the tail. Pakistan's Prime Minister is actually talking about resolving all outstanding issues, which for Pakistan remains Kashmir and restoration of Article 370. Clearly, Pakistan doesn't want to talk about India's core issue, and that is Pakistan's state-sponsored terror and inaction against radical Islamist terrorists of UN-designated terrorist organizations like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. Food crisis. Skyrocketing inflation and protests. Pakistan, a country of 23 crore people, is living its worst nightmare. Massive protests erupted in the Gilgit-Baltistan region of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir on Tuesday over food shortage and runaway inflation. Enraged citizens of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir blocked highways and burnt tires to express their anger against the Shahbaz Sharif-led Pakistan government. In midst of it all, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif conceded Pakistan had learnt its lessons after fighting multiple wars with India and losing. The Pakistani Prime Minister admitted that all 3 wars with India had brought his country down.
Pakistan has learnt its lesson. We had 3 wars with India. 3. And the consequence of those wars, as a result, it only brought more miseries.
to the
unemployment,
two nations.
poverty.
Shahbaz Sharif claimed his country now wants to live in peace with India, but once again raked up the Kashmir issue.
We must. We are not a country, we don't have zayt or gas. We have very strong human resource, labor, engineers, etc. That's our asset. We want to convert that into our tools to provide prosperity.
For far too long, Islamabad has ignored its economy, instead focusing all its energies using terrorism as an instrument of state policy. Now, the country is drowning in debt. In a desperate bid to remain afloat, Pakistan has taken a fresh loan from the United Arab Emirates this week. But the financial help from the Arab nation is actually too little and too late to bail out a sinking Pakistan. Bureau Report, India Today. Joining me now for more on this big story is India Today's Foreign Affairs editor, Geeta Mohan. Geeta, Pakistan's Prime Minister seems to be indicating that he wants the UAE to intervene. Pakistan wants some kind of dialogue with India on Kashmir and on Article 370, both clear no-go areas until Pakistan deals with radical Islamist terror that comes through Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed. So is this then an attempt to divert attention of his country from the deep crisis that Pakistan is facing? What's the thinking in South Bloc?
Well, two things. One, it's diversionary as it always has been with the Pakistani establishment, whether it's any civilian government or the military establishment, Gaurav. But on the other hand, it's not just diversionary, it's also posturing. Pakistan knows that there is going to be no moving back from the decision of August 2019 on Article 370. And that's the reason why Pakistan always mentions it. Secondly, there is going to be no resolution to a bilateral dispute on Kashmir between India and Pakistan under the auspices of the United Nations. So these two areas are no-go, and Pakistan knows that. So primarily, it looks like what it always has been, which is posturing. Having said that, Pakistan trying to blame India for the economic crisis is more than just ridiculous. Why, Gaurav? Is because the last war was fought in the 70s, and the last big conflict was in the 90s. And since then, what has Pakistan really done in order to bring its economy in order? Nothing really, barring the corruption that Pakistani politicians and the military establishment involves itself in, and funding terror camps in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Therefore, the blame is solely on Pakistan, and Pakistan now in the United Arab Emirates only because there is no bailout that it's getting from IMF as of now. And the dire straits that Pakistan is in is the reason behind it is the mismanagement of all the funds and aid that went Pakistan's way to fight terrorism, and instead they funded terrorism.
Pakistan funded terrorism, corruption rampant across Pakistan, tax compliance almost near zero in Pakistan, especially when it comes to the rich, the powerful, and of course the Pakistan army. Geeta Mohan, for the moment, many thanks. Abdul Rahman Makki, the 74-year-old brother-in-law of the Hafiz of Terror, Hafiz Muhammad Saeed, the founder of Lashkar-e-Taiba, has finally been designated by the United Nations Sanctions Committee. China, which was blocking sanctions against Makki, has finally relented after Beijing stood isolated at the United Nations Security Council with 14 or 15 members in favor of action against Pakistan's state-sponsored radical Islamist terror and the designation of Abdul Rahman Makki, who incidentally has been involved in a series of terror attacks in India, from the Parliament attack to the Red Fort attack to 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, and the man who actually threatened India with rivers of blood for Kashmir.
Abdul Rahman Makki, a key terror ideologue and financier of Lashkar-e-Taiba, involved in a series of terror strikes in India, including 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks in 2008, was finally put on the 1267 sanctions list of the United Nations Sanctions Committee. And isolated China finally removed the technical hold on sanctions, with 14 out of 15 members voting in favor.
We welcome the decision of the UN Security Council's ISI and Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee to list Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki. Threats from terrorist organizations in the region remain high, and listings and sanctions by the UN Security Council are an effective tool to curb such threats and dismantle terror infrastructure in the region. India remains committed to pursuing a zero-tolerance approach to terrorism.
Makki, brother-in-law of UN-designated global terrorist and founder of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hafiz Saeed, carries a $2 million reward on his head. 74-year-old Makki is a US-designated terrorist. With Pakistan under global scrutiny over support to terrorists, Hafiz Saeed was put under a sham house arrest. Makki was handling the main operations, including generating funds for terror activities of LET in J&K.
Our quest for justice for our people against Pakistani-based terrorists will continue. This is a good success.
Makki, after 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks at a rally in Pakistan, threatened India with rivers of blood if Kashmir was not handed over to Pakistan. India has repeatedly sought action on Makki, but China continued to put a technical hold on the listing of both Makki and 26/11 terror financier Sajid Mir.
His designation as global terrorist is going to be a big victory because it is going to starve Lashkar-e-Taiba of funds. And to that extent, I think it will reduce Lashkar-e-Taiba's efficacy and reduce terror activities of Lashkar-e-Taiba.
Makki has been involved in a series of terror strikes in India, including the December 2000 Red Fort terror attack, December 2001 Parliament attack, 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, 2018 Karan Nagar Srinagar attack, 2018 killing of Shujat Bukhari, a senior journalist in Srinagar. When Pakistan was under the Financial Action Task Force scrutiny, Makki was arrested and convicted on charges of terror financing, but was among 6 people acquitted by the Lahore High Court in November 2021. The Counter-Terror Department of Pakistan's Punjab Police has filed over 40 cases against Makki and other terrorists of Jamaat-ud-Dawa.
After placing numerous technical holds on the designation of Makki, China finally relented. But this is not the first, or for that matter, the last time that China will continue to support Pakistan, even if it means supporting terrorism. In New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
US designated international terror financer and the 1993 Mumbai serial blast accused Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar has got remarried to a Pathan woman in Pakistan. Is this Dawood Ibrahim's ploy to protect his wife Mehjabeen? Is Mehjabeen trying to return to India and handle the D company in this country? What's the bigger game plan? Arvind Ojha gets you details. ...1993 Mumbai serial blast mastermind, a designated global terrorist, fugitive underworld don, the terrorist who runs his D company crime syndicate from a Pakistan safe house in Karachi. Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar is not just flourishing in Karachi, but believe it or not, he just got married once again. The 67-year-old married for the second time to a Pakistani girl from the Pathan community. This while staying married to his first wife, Mehjabeen Sheikh, who has been a partner in his crime and terror syndicate. Pakistan has not just sheltered Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar in a fortified and posh Karachi locality in Clifton, but has also ensured that he operates with impunity. The shocking revelations come from Ali Shah, son of Dawood Ibrahim's sister, Hasina Parker, who confessed to the National Investigation Agency in September 2022. According to Shah, Dawood Ibrahim's second marriage may also be an attempt to shift the focus of the investigating agencies from his first wife, Mehjabeen. Shah revealed Dawood Ibrahim has not divorced his first wife while marrying for the second time. He also revealed Dawood's latest location in Pakistan, adding he's now living in Defence Colony in Rahim Faki area of Karachi, which is also highly fortified near Clifton, Karachi. Dawood's nephew revealed that Mehjabeen still maintains contacts with their relatives in India through WhatsApp calls. Dawood Ibrahim has 3 daughters and a son named Moeen with Mehjabeen. His sister Hasina Parker, who died in 2014, used to control the D Company's operations till her death in India. With Arvind Ojha, Bureau Report, India Today. And it's a triple whammy for Pakistan. There is an economic crisis, there is a political crisis, and on top of that, there is acute food crisis. Almost food riots in different cities across Pakistan. There are allegations of discrimination, that the Pakistani Punjabi Muslims are not giving adequate wheat to either people of Gilgit-Baltistan or Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or even Sindh and Balochistan. People are scrambling for a bag of flour. People have lost their lives. People have been injured. Pakistan Army has had to resort to firing in the air to ensure that food riots don't escalate. And why? Because Pakistan is unable to acquire wheat for its people. Pakistan's economy is in a shambles. Our next report gets us more.
Food shortage, stampedes, gunfire. Pakistan, a country of 23 crore people, is now paying for its crimes. For far too long, Islamabad has overlooked governance and instead focused all its energies on the use of terror as a strategic weapon. Today, firing their AK-47 rifles, the army and police are protecting the priceless wheat flour. That's right, they're actually standing guard for atta against hungry crowds, risking their lives just to lay their hands on that one invaluable bag of food. Pakistan is facing its worst ever food crisis, with parts of the country reporting a massive shortage of wheat and wheat flour. Stampedes have been reported in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Sindh and Balochistan provinces.
मुल्क का कर्जा कैसे उतरेगा? तो किसी नौजवान ने कहा कि ब्यूटी पार्लर बंद करके उतरेगा, किसी ने कहा कबाब रोल खाने बंद कर दें तो उतर जाएगा, किसी लड़की ने कहा कि हम कमेटियां डाल लेते हैं सब मुल्कों से लेकर,
सब अपनी अपनी गड़ियां बेचते बाहर,
उससे उतर सकता है.
The country is drowning in debt, making even imports a tough task.
ये बताओ मुल्क का कर्जा कैसे उतरेगा?
मुल्क का कर्जा जब पैसे होंगे जब उतरेगा, आपको नहीं पता.
तेल का बोतल आता है ऐसे यूं पत्थर रख के ऐसे यूं बैठे होते हैं ये इधर डिफेंस में. अगर लड़के सारे उधर बैठ जाए, ये काम कारोबार स्टार्ट कर दे तो ये मुल्क जो है तरक्की हो जाएगा.
मतलब हर नौजवान मालशी बन जाए.
मालिश में जितना पैसा है ना उधर किधर नहीं है.
Amidst this crisis, the political leadership is busy pointing fingers at one another.
इमरान नियाजी की बदकिस्मती कि 4 साल पूरी सपोर्ट के बगैर वो एक बदतरीन नाकाम वज़ीर आज़म निकला, और जो लोग जिन्होंने उसको मसनद इक़्तिदार पर बिठाया आज किस तरह के कभी उनके ऊपर इल्ज़ाम तराशी कर रहा है.
इस वक्त जिधर हम खड़े हैं उसमें एक आदमी जिसके पास बड़ी ताकत थी, जनरल बाजवा, उसका बहुत बड़ा हाथ है, बल्कि उसी का हाथ है जो आज हम यहां खड़े हैं.
At a time when citizens are starving, Maryam Nawaz, the daughter of former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, is making headlines for her shoes and clothes worth lakhs of rupees. The country is facing challenges on multiple fronts, like plummeting forex reserves, high inflation which has reached a staggering 42%, conflict with the Taliban in Afghanistan, the Baloch insurgency escalating, a huge historic food shortage, and a crippling power crisis. Add to it huge damage from last year's historic floods. Pakistan is battling to meet the very basic needs of its citizens. The countdown clock has begun to total collapse. Bureau Report, India Today.
Pakistan continues to sink. It expects India, at least some in Pakistan do, that India should bail Pakistan out. But clearly, that should only happen if Pakistan takes clear, visible, credible, and irreversible steps against India-centric terror. We will track that story very closely. That is all I have for you on this special broadcast. Many thanks for watching.
You are watching India Today.
Food shortage, stampedes, gunfires. Pakistan, a country of 23 crore people, is now paying for its crimes. For far too long, Islamabad overlooked governance and instead focused all its energies on the use of terror as a strategic weapon. Today, firing their AK-47 rifles, the army and police are protecting the priceless wheat flour against hungry crowds, risking their lives to lay their hands on that one bag of food. Pakistan is facing its worst ever food crisis, with parts of the country reporting shortage of wheat. Stampedes have been reported in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Sindh and Balochistan provinces. The country is drowning in debt, making even imports a tough task. Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif met UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed on Sunday. The nuclear weapon state, struggling to stay afloat, sought a fresh economic package from the UAE.
और मुझे बड़ी शर्म आ रही है, लेकिन मजबूरी है. हमारे मामलात जो माली मामलात जो हैं, इस वक्त बड़े IMF की शराइत में हम जकड़े हुए हैं. अभी भी 9th रिव्यू मुकम्मल नहीं हुआ. उनके शर्त है कि आप बिजली की कीमतें बढ़ाएं, फलां कीमतें बढ़ाएं. गरीब आदमी को पर कितना और बोझ डालें.
The country is facing challenges on multiple fronts like plummeting forex reserves, high inflation which has reached 42%, conflict with Taliban, Baloch insurgency, food shortage, power crisis, and massive flood damage. Country that funded terror is now left embarrassed for begging for funds.
वहाँ पर मैंने तफसील से बात की कि मुझे बड़ी आई फील वेरी एम्बैरेस्ड कि मैं आपसे हर दफ़ा आता हूँ, कोई और आता है तो आप कहते तो नहीं, लेकिन दिल के अंदर तो आप समझते होंगे ये पैसे मांगने आ गए हैं.
With UAE pledging additional $1 billion to help cash-strapped ally Pakistan, question arises, will Islamabad use the money to meet the basic needs of citizens, or will it once again be used to fund terror? Bureau Report, India Today.
The bitter spat between the Delhi government and Lieutenant Governor VK Saxena spilled out onto the streets of the national capital once again on Monday. Chief Minister of Delhi Arvind Kejriwal led a protest march with party legislators from the assembly to the LG's residence. On reaching the Lieutenant Governor's residence, the Chief Minister claimed they were denied an audience. Kejriwal slammed the Lieutenant Governor for blocking government schemes, including plans to send school teachers to Finland for training.
बेहद दुख है कि आज हम सब लोगों को, दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री को, दिल्ली के सारे चुने हुए विधायकों को एलजी हाउस मार्च करके कोई बड़ी चीज के लिए नहीं जाना पड़ रहा है, मात्र इस चीज के लिए जाना पड़ रहा है कि एलजी साहब हमारे शिक्षकों को फिनलैंड ट्रेनिंग के लिए जाने दो, उनको मत रोको। आपने दिल्ली में योगा क्लासेस रोक दी, बताओ योगा क्लासेस रोकने से एलजी साहब को क्या फायदा हुआ? 17,000 लोग डेली योगा करते थे, मैं उनको फ्री में योगा कराता था। जी साहब ने अफसरों को बोल के दिल्ली के सारे मोहल्ला क्लिनिक्स की सारी पेमेंट रुकवा दी, दवाइयां रुकवा दी, टेस्ट रुकवा दिए, डॉक्टरों की तनख्वाह रुकवा दी, मोहल्ला क्लिनिक का रेंट रुकवा दिया, मोहल्ला क्लिनिक का बिजली का बिल रुकवा दिया।
Amid the protest, the Lieutenant Governor's office issued a clarification saying VK Saxena hadn't rejected the teachers' training proposal. The statement called the Aam Aadmi Party's charge misleading and motivated. The Lieutenant Governor's office said Saxena had asked the Aam Aadmi Party government to re-evaluate the proposal with a cost-benefit analysis, asking them to check for other teacher training programs within India.
देखिए, अरविंद केजरीवाल और आम आदमी पार्टी को संवैधानिक संस्थाओं पर विश्वास नहीं है। लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर साहब ने क्या मांगा? एक कॉस्ट एनालिसिस शीट ही तो मांगी है, लेकिन आपको हर बार की तरह आप उसको ईगो पे ले जाते हैं। दिल्ली का विकास आपने करना नहीं, लेकिन उसकी जगह आप इस तरह का ड्रामा क्रिएट करते हो।
Ahead of the protest march, ruckus broke out between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP legislators in the assembly on the first day of the winter session. BJP and Aam Aadmi Party MLAs engaged in sloganeering against each other in the House, after which the day's proceedings were adjourned. BJP MLAs had come to the Delhi Assembly carrying oxygen cylinders and wearing oxygen masks in protest against poor air quality in the national capital. The winter session is expected to go on till Wednesday.
As per the MLAs, especially the Aam Aadmi Party MLAs, has clearly said that the LG government has declined their teacher training, but on contrary, LG office has clearly said that there is no declination of that. But the matter is that he advised to evaluate internal assessment system within the country, especially as far as the teacher training program is concerned. With camera person Shailendra in Delhi, it's Ram Kinkar Singh for India Today.
Association with LIC, हर पल आपके साथ। BJP battle ready for state of war South. Prime Minister and BSY meet amid rumours of rift. PM's assurance to BSY after snubs. KCR's thrown on BJP's radar. Prime Minister's focus dethrone K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Battle for South in top gear.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and this edition we're going to be focusing on the takeaways from the National Executive Meet as we get you details of what the Prime Minister's message is to every Karyakarta of the BJP. 2023, it's very clear for the BJP, is a year when they're hoping to break through in the South. With two crucial elections, Karnataka and Telangana, coming up, the BJP is hoping to make big inroads in Telangana and to hold on to power in Karnataka. We're going to be talking about that and much more. The headlines first. BJP's big announcement in key election year. JP Nadda's term as BJP president extended till June 2024. Amit Shah endorses Nadda, says party strike rate under him has been high. Ahead of Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra in Jammu and Kashmir, big security advisory for Rahul. Rahul told to not walk at certain areas and also advised to use car in vulnerable parts. Turning point in India's fight against corruption. UK to extradite fugitive arms dealer and Robert Vadra aide Sanjay Bhandari. Day after street march, Kejriwal trains guns on Delhi Lieutenant Governor in the Delhi Assembly, calls him Viceroy, says LG must not behave like the headmaster. UNSC lists Pakistan-based terrorist Abdul Rahman Makki as a global terrorist after repeated efforts by China to block listing. Modi government hails UNSC decision. And Pakistan Prime Minister's big statement on India. Shehbaz Sharif claims Pakistan has learnt its lesson after 3 wars against us.
Pakistan has learnt its lesson. We had 3 wars with India. 3. And the consequence of those wars as a result